name is Isaac Reynolds. I'm a lieutenant with the Portland Fire Department. I've been here about 20 years altogether. Enjoy serving my community. We're going to go over SCBA, the safety precautions for SCBA, preparing for emergency situations and cleaning SCBA. I got my information from IAFC Jones and Bartlett, the 2009 edition. Some of the safety precautions for SCBA. Learn to recognize your low air alarm. And we'll go ahead and listen to the low air alarm now. And that's what your low air alarm is going to sound like. Now, who can tell me how much time you have when your low air alarm sounds?
Roughly 5 minutes, give or take, depending on how you breathe, I think.
Okay, that's right.
How many pounds does it take to set it off?
Between 4 and 6 pounds to set off your low air alarm.
I've heard different things, I didn't know for sure.
Different packs are going to have different
Ratings, like different specs.
Any other questions on the low air alarm? As soon as your alarms go off, you want to go ahead and exit the hazardous environment. You need to keep into account if it took you 10, 15 minutes to get where you're at in the structure or whatever the hazardous environment is, and your low air alarm sounds, you know you've only got 5 minutes to get out, but you want to do it safely. That's why you always keep an eye on your gauges and make sure of how much air you have. You know, like I said, if it takes 10, 15 minutes to get where you were, you don't want to wait till your alarm sounds. Go ahead and start exiting where you can get out safely.
Remember you said earlier that you practice sometimes, and you can do a hum method and stuff to conserve your air.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try to get the max out, you can hum when you're breathing.
Does everybody understand that, what he's talking about? Okay. Before you enter a hazardous environment, make sure your pass device is activated, which, like I said a while ago, you want to keep an eye on your gauges and stuff. Your pass device is also located here, and will, as soon as you turn your pack on, everybody hear that? The little beep? Your pass device is now activated. It's ready to go. These are the gauges you want to watch. Like I was saying a while ago, if you get 10, 15 minutes into a structure, you know it's going to take you most of that to get back out safely. Keep an eye on your gauges. Know where you're at and how much time you've got left. We'll go ahead and activate the pass device. We'll let you hear what that sounds like. That's what your pass device sounds like when it's going off. You just want to be sure that if you're working and your pass device goes off because you're not moving as much, you want to go ahead and shut that off, because that could cause a problem. Other firemen are going to hear it and think somebody's in trouble.
How long of not moving will it take to set that off?
As with the low air alarm, different packs have different times, so anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds if this is setting still. It'll go off by itself.
Does the alarm itself, does it always sound just like that, or does it change?
No, it always sounds like that when it alarms. Another safety precaution is the accountability system. You wanna make sure your incident commander knows where you are. He needs to know who's on scene and who's doing what and where they're at. So make sure you're logged into your accountability system. Always work in teams of 2. Don't ever go into a structure by yourself or a hazardous environment by yourself. And always have at least 2 firefighters outside ready to come in. 2 in, 2 out. Always. That way if something happens, there's 2 guys ready to go if something happens and somebody gets into some trouble. Being prepared for emergency situations. Be prepared to react if any emergency occurs while using the SCBA. Can anybody tell me what kind of emergency would occur while you're using the SCBA?
A leak.
A leak,
You could run out of air.
run out of air,
Tangled up.
get tangled up, all these things. Basically, the main thing is when something like that happens, what do we wanna do?
You wanna remain calm.
Remain calm, stop and think. One of the big things is if something goes wrong, us, any human being, when we're scared, first thing we do, we start breathing heavier. You don't wanna breathe like that with an SCBA on, because you're gonna suck all your air down. Another thing you can do, activate your pass device, like you just heard. Just turn it on, leave it on. All the firemen are gonna know what that sound is, and they're gonna know something's wrong, and they're gonna come looking for you. Use a hand light to attract attention. Take a hand light, turn it off and on, flash it around, make sure they can see you. Do everything you can to where they can get to you quicker. We've always got our portable radio on us, correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Holler, use it. Even if you know, hey, this might not be that bad, but just go ahead and call. Go ahead and get somebody just in case. It's not gonna be that big a deal. If it's not, life and death, it doesn't have to be life and death. Something simple could turn into something dangerous very quick. Go ahead and holler for them. Get them coming to you. The next part of our skill is gonna be the psychomotor skill of cleaning an SCBA in your face piece. We'll go out into the bay to do that. I've got everything set up out there to show you how to clean the SCBA properly and make sure it's in working order and cleaning your mask.
Alright. 8 minutes.
I got tongue tied there at the first of it. We'll go over the cleaning the SCBA in here, how to do it and everything, then we'll go out into the bay and we'll actually clean the SCBA, the pack, the face piece. Basically, you wanna inspect the SCBA for any damage that may have occurred before the cleaning. Just kinda look over it, make sure all the moving parts work right, make sure there's nothing missing, broken, ripped, tore. Just check it, make sure it's in proper working order.
If there is, what do you do?
You take it out of service immediately. Do not use that pack.
You just like run it up your chain of command, or?
Yes, let your chief, captain, assistant chief, whoever know, hey, this pack's got this wrong with it,
Right.
and they'll contact your supplier and your maintenance people who work on your SCBAs and your air packs. We are not certified to work on these air packs. So, we can change batteries and stuff, but let the guys who do this for a living do that, fix these.
If the pack is messed up, does that mean we have to take the mask out of service with it, or?
No, you can still use your mask. And we'll go through inspecting your mask and making sure it's in proper working order too. Of course, you take the face piece from the regulator, if you have that model. Some of them, the regulators can also be removed, but you also wanna inspect that, your regulator. Make sure it fastens good, make sure there's no trash or dirt or any of that in it, and we'll go over that when we're cleaning it. Make sure everything's working good, turning good, nothing's broke, nothing's sticking. Make sure all that's in proper working order before you clean it. You'll want to remove the cylinder from the SCBA, inspect it, the threads, your knobs and everything, and make sure it's in good shape. And just kind of rinse it and set it aside so it can dry. In a 5-gallon bucket, make a mixture of mild soap and water. You're gonna submerge the SCBA face piece into the soapy water or cleaning solution. Before you do that, like I said, inspect it, look over it, make sure everything's in proper working order. If you have a heads-up display, like a lot of SCBAs do now, you wanna take that off. Don't submerge that in water, just wipe it with a damp cloth, let it dry. You wanna take it off before you submerge your face piece. Clean the regulator with soapy water or cleaning solution following the manufacturer's instructions. A mild soap, you don't wanna use any kind of degreaser or anything on your regulators. Just kinda rinse it out and
Like
make sure
Dawn,
there's,
you can use Dawn?
yes, like Dawn dish soap, a mild soap.
Okay.
When you're done with that, completely rinse the face piece and the regulator with clean water, set them aside to dry, reassemble and inspect the entire SCBA again. Just rinse them out, you can hang them, let them dry, wipe them down good with a dry cloth, soft cloth, hang them, let them dry, and then when they're dry and done, you're fixing to put them back into service, just kind of look through. Make sure there's no holes or tears or rips. I mean, this is your lifeline, guys. Make sure it's in proper working order. Is there any questions before we go out here and clean them?
Are there different types of cleaning for different types of masks, or is it a standard thing? Like, I know there's MSAs and there's Scott packs, and some of them require different.
No, it's just a mild soap or detergent. You don't want to use any kind of harsh chemicals or degreasers or anything on any of them, but they're all
Pretty standard.
basically the same, just kind of a mild soap and rinse them good. Just be sure you inspect it when you're done, make sure there's no, like I said, rips or tears or cracks in the face piece or any of that. All right, let's go out here in the bay and we'll clean one. So basically what I was saying, you want to take your bottle off the air pack. As you're taking it out, just kind of look through it, look around it, make sure there's nothing obvious. Checking your port, check your gauge, make sure it's not cracked or busted. Check your threads, make sure they're not messed up. Set it aside. Next thing you want to do, go through and check all your ports, all your buckles, your gauges, make sure nothing's cracked or busted.
Now, would you be able to wash the pass device with it being electronic?
Well, the way you wash these, check your regulator, make sure there's nothing, no grime or grud. Make sure it fastens back properly. Check all your hoses. Look for any damage that could have occurred in a fire or hazardous situation. When you're done inspecting your pack, the best way to clean the pack, find a nice spot, just a garden hose and plain water. Spray it down good. Take your regulator off again, check it, make sure there's nothing in there. Get a damp cloth, wipe around. Wipe around the ports in there, make sure nothing's in there. Fasten it back. Once you've sprayed your pack down, check it again, hang it, and allow it to dry completely before it goes back into service. Your bottle, cleaning your bottle the same way, just plain water out of a garden hose. Just spray it down good. Take a damp cloth, dry it best you can, the whole time inspecting, making sure there's nothing wrong with the bottle. Set it aside to dry.
Do you have to remove the batteries or anything, or is it waterproof?
If you're, what are you talking about in the pack?
In the back.
You'll want to, if you're gonna submerge it, you'll want to take the batteries out of your pass device and put the cover back on it. Just clean that up with a damp cloth, but I don't recommend submerging the air pack. I would just get a damp cloth and wipe everything down good. Maybe a soft or medium brush. Brush it off with some plain water. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't submerge the entire pack in anything.
Okay.
But yes, you can take the batteries out of your pass and put the cover, make sure you put the covers back on. If you do that, set the batteries aside.
All right.
Now, cleaning your face piece. Just be sure, if you have the heads-up display, which is also electronic, has a battery in it, just take that off. It's one screw, take it, slide it off, set it aside. I've got plain water here with a mild detergent, doesn't take much. I don't like to use brushes or anything on the face piece. Just dip it in. Make sure you get the soapy water all inside the face piece. All the bends of the rubber in the face piece kind of pull back and let the soapy water get in there. Submerge it again, kind of shake it around. Dump all the water out. just kind of go over it. Then with a soft cloth, like I said, I don't like to use brushes on any of this. Soft cloth, just kind of wipe around the little grooves and bends in the face piece on the inside and out. Check all your ports where your regulator connects. Check it. Make sure all that's in proper order and clean. And then just plain warm water. Rinse your face piece.
Is this all part of the skills checkoff?
Yes.
We're gonna have to do this?
Yes. Everybody will clean a pack and a face piece. Once you've got it rinsed good, just real quick, I know it seems like a lot, just real quick, just kind of look over it and inspect it again. Make sure all your buckles are there, there's no tears or rips or cracks. And then you hang this, shake it out good, hang it in front of a fan or out somewhere where it can dry good before you put it back into service. Thank you.